What what the hell's going on? Why are these candles here? Could it be because of this review? Because we're doing the Insidious: The Last Key? Are there like spirits in the Drumdums' evil lair? It is called the evil lair. Oh, what the hell just happened? Where did my lights go? Oh, shit. Let's see if I can turn them on with my external mic. Damn it! I guess we're doing the review like this. Insidious: The Last Key stars Lin Shaye, Lee Winnell, and is directed by Adam Robitel. What's up, guys? It's January. This is officially the first Drumdums review of 2018, and we're gonna do Insidious: The Last Key. And I figured, hey, why not set the mood, put the candles out? You might not be able to see my face that well, but that's probably a good thing. It really smells good in here. But before I get into this review, be sure to check out the STARDUST app. Specifically, follow me on the STARDUST app. I recently recorded my review for this last night, actually, right after I saw the movie. You know, I thought, hey, I'll do it right there in my car, and you can see it right here.
I think it's pretty good, actually. It is kind of boring at the beginning, but in the middle, it really picks up. This is really the story of Elise, played by Lin Shaye.
And that's just a sample of it. If you go to STARDUST, you can follow me, and you can record your own 30-second reviews. And you can like, you can comment, do all that fun stuff. It's a great social media app for movie lovers. And it gives you the chance to visually put yourself out there and say, hey, I enjoyed this movie because of this, this, and this. But anyway, on to the review for Insidious: The Last Key. So in this Insidious movie, this is another prequel. I think the last one, part 3, was also a prequel, which is a problem, but we'll get into that. I don't know why movies have to do a part 1 and then a part 2 and then a prequel and then another prequel. I'm looking at you, Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe. But before I get into this, my stance on the Insidious franchise is they're okay. The first one I think is definitely the best one. They're fun, but it's not like a go-to franchise for me. I think there's some good ideas there. They like to play with the dark, which is nice. But let's get into the plot for this movie. It opens up with a really interesting scene, actually. We see Elise when she is young. This is in the 50s. And so we get to dive into her world a little bit, see what her upbringing was like. She lives in an environment where nobody believes her. Her mother supports her, but her father especially is just a complete asshole about the whole thing. He doesn't want to believe that his daughter can see dead people, can talk to people from the further. And I can believe that, especially in the 50s. But a tragic accident happens at the beginning of the movie, and then we are fast forwarded to not the present day, but 2010, because this is a prequel to the first Insidious. And so what's unique about this one is more than any of the other movies, it focuses on Elise. As a matter of fact, the house that's in this movie is Elise's old house. She goes back to revisit her old house, reconnect with her family, specifically her brother and her 2 nieces. And there's this demon in the house, and really he collects souls. And so Elise is sent there by this young guy that just moved into the house. I don't know why in the hell he would do that, just to figure out what is going on. And to really end this nightmare that started when she was a child once and for all. Now, you know what? Just to make it interesting, let's start with the cons. I do that from time to time, just to mix it up. Because I kind of already touched on the cons, this being a prequel. And really the biggest con for me on this is the first half. The first half, it does its job. It sets things up, but it is pretty boring. As a matter of fact, I was getting to a point in the first half of this movie where I was like, I am not going to like this. I think I'm probably going to give this a low rating by the time I review it. But then something happens in the middle that really kicks the story into high gear, and it really never lets up until the end. And there's a lot of good twists and turns along the way. And in the end, I had a really good time with it. And also for another con, I think for a movie that plays so much with the dark, it could have been scarier. And I wasn't really scared throughout the whole thing. There are some creepy elements to the movie, but it didn't get under my skin. I guess you could call it like Hollywood stock scares. There are some jump scares in there. You do see some of your demonic figures that we've seen in 10 other movies. So I think maybe they just need to get a little bit more creative with how they scare the audience. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of moments that did make me jump. But, you know, as a whole, I didn't think this was a scary movie. I think more than anything, it was a drama, focusing on Elise and all the issues that she had with her family and everything. Now, but for the pros to this movie, those twists that happen starting in the middle and more like plot revelations than twists were really interesting. One of them involves one of her nieces who has, I guess, a similar inherited power that Elise has, which plays into the final act, which I enjoyed quite a bit, actually, and lends itself to maybe a spin-off series. I wouldn't doubt it, the way they're handling the Conjuring series with, like, you got Annabelle now, and now you got the Nun. It would not surprise me at all if Insidious is setting things up for a spin-off series. Mark this day. Also, another thing I liked is that at the end of this movie, it really ties in nicely with the first movie. And it made me want to go back and watch the first movie, so that was actually pretty smart on the filmmaker's parts. And I gotta give credit to Leigh Whannell, who wrote the first movie, created these characters, and I believe he had a heavy hand in writing this one as well. This is a really unique world that he's created. And there hasn't been that Insidious movie that has really just knocked my freaking socks off, but there's definitely potential there. So that means I would welcome another Insidious movie. I think there's more stories to tell. And also, of course, I gotta give credit to Lynn Shay. She has finally found a franchise where she is the star. She is kind of the Dr. Loomis of this franchise, and we root for her the whole time. In today's Hollywood, if you're over the age of 30, then you really don't take the spotlight, especially if you're a female. So kudos to Lynn Shay. She does a great job in this movie, actually. And she's come a long way since the teacher in the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Wouldn't that be awesome if this somehow shared the universe of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and Elise was that teacher? Oh my God, my wheels are spinning. That would be amazing. But in the end, guys, I'm definitely going to give this a high Humdrum. I had a really good time with it. Can't quite get it to a purchase worthy because it's not one that I'm going to jump right out to watch again. But I did have a damn good time with it, especially for January. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on Insidious: The Last Key? Looking forward to hearing them. Did you like this crazy setup I got going right here? I did this for my It Comes at Night review as well. I'll put a card up here for that. Also, guys, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks where we talk horror all day and every day. I've been putting out a lot of ranking videos, and one of them I did was top 10 underrated horror movies that I discovered on Killer Flicks. I'll put a card right here for that one. Also, you can follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and now Stardust. We talked about that at the beginning. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and Drumdum out.